think darkness is your ally. You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. By then it was nothing to me but blinding. The shadows betray you because they belong to me.
What's going on YouTube? In today's video, I'll be showing you guys how I wired up my parking lights right here so that they can do the turn signals all the way to the front using the DRL and also not deleting the DRL. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, make sure you stay tuned and let's get to it. So today I'll be showing you guys how I wired up my LED bulbs right here so that they can work all the way to the front. So a full turn signal here and also retaining the DRL. So it's not going to be a bypass, it's just going to be an integration right there. And this wiring right here should be good for the 2000 to 06 truck. So they should be the same. And you know, my truck right here is a 2000, but I'll go ahead and show you guys right there. And I will be using the Auxito LED switchback bulbs. So I'm not sure if you can see them right there, but they're going to be switchbacks. And also this video is sponsored by Auxito. So if you'd like to get some of those bulbs right there, I'll have my discount code down below in the description. All right guys, so these are the bulbs that I'm going to be using right here to do the custom wiring. And they are going to be the Auxito bulbs right here again. So these are switchbacks. And these two are going to be going for the parking lights and DRL, and then this is going to be my side markers. So these are not switchbacks right here, but they're only going to be amber because they didn't have any right now that were switchbacks. So I just, you know, try to get a different one which was amber and not white.
My name Kodak Black, but when you see me, I'm white.
So I opted to get the amber one because I do like the amber too. So, you know, I like white, but I think amber gives it a little bit of color. So I'm going to just try it out, and if I don't like it, maybe later I can order a white one. Or if I can find a switchback later from them, then I'll get it. And for now, this is good because they're actually sponsoring these. So, you know, I didn't pay for these right here. And thanks to them for sending these bulbs out to me right here. So we're going to be putting them on right here. And I know they're going to be real bright because, you know, these are pretty bright on the Auxito brand right there. So let me go ahead and show you right now what it looks like with, you know, the normal parking lights. So these are just halogens right here. And, you know, they're not too bright right there. But I'll go ahead and also try to get a night shot because, you know, this is just in the daytime, so you can tell that they're not that bright right there. So they don't look the brightest, and I know that those Auxitos will be super bright, so I'm gonna be changing them out and getting a comparison once it's a little bit darker as well. So these are the Auxito bulbs right here, and you can tell it's a switchback. So right now it's showing up white, and then that one's staying amber all the time. But whenever I do my turn signal, I want this one to be amber as well, so I'm gonna be doing that custom wiring right there. And on this side, you can tell the stock one is just very dull. It's not even dark right now, but you can tell they're already low compared to the Auxito one. So you can already tell, you know, I mean, it's already brighter and it's still in the day. And then again, so the halogen over here, they look real dull and stuff. So I'm gonna just keep doing it right there. And with the turn signal, you can see a little bit how it's more brighter. So it's already doing the switchback right there. So these stock ones are very dim right there. And then that's the Auxito one, so it's not even nighttime and it's already bright. So way brighter right now. And then the halogen, you know, they're just dim.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that's right here, both with the turn signals on the hazards. And you can kind of see where, you know, it moves from right here to here, but this one is still off right now. So I want to hook these up. So what I'm thinking of doing is wiring up the DRL combined with the turn signal. And that way it'll flash all the way over here when I'm doing my turn signal. And whenever I have my parking lights on, it'll also flash all the way over here. But in the daytime, this will still be working. So I'm just going to be customizing it so it can do something like that. And I'm going to be having two separate colors. So these are going to be white, and then this one's going to be amber. But I think it should be fine because this will be amber. And then also remember, these kind of glow amber at night. And so I'll see how it looks. And if not, then maybe I can even change this one to white. But for now, that's the way I'm going to have it. And I'm going to just start taking this thing apart right here. And what I like about this truck right here, you know, because it's easy to take off the headlights. So you just remove the pins. You know, it has like two. On the 03 and up, it's also two, but they're just like sideways, I believe.
Sitting sideways on swing, the candy paint.
These are even easier, I think. And then these just have push clips. So let me go ahead and take both of them off, and I'll start wiring it up. All right, guys, so I went ahead and removed all the headlights and exposed all the wiring here. So I'll go ahead and show you really quickly, you know, what I'm gonna be doing. So if you guys notice, these are the plugs for the turn signals, and they use 3 wires. So the very right side, this black wire is gonna be your ground. The middle one is the parking light. So this parking light, you know, stays on all the time. When you do the turn signal, you know, it stays 12 volts all the time. So this one does not change. And then the one on the very left side, this blue one, is the actual turn signal. So this one will blink on and off. And this one right here in the middle is your DRL, right? So it has only 2 wires. And so there you can see the 3-wire plug and then the 2-wire plug. So what I'm gonna be doing is upgrading it to the 3-wire plug. And I have one right here, just like this. So it's already cut, and I'm gonna be soldering it into the DRL. So that way it can give me that extra wire, and I can hook up those extra inputs with the diodes. So I'll be using 4 diodes right here. And these are 10 amp diodes. I'm pretty sure I can get away with like a 5 amp diode, but this is what I have, and I think it's actually better, you know, in case anybody, or if I ever put like halogens, it should be good because it handles more amperage. So 10 amps right there, and they come in a pack, so I just need 4, but you know, they'll have more right there. And then just some little bit of wire. So, you know, primary wire is good. As long as it's got a good amount of copper, then it's good. Because, you know, these are thin, but they got nice copper in them because they're factory. And on the wiring, the color doesn't really matter. You know, you can get like different colors. So I have some of this, so I like this one. I'm gonna use this one right here. And if I need other colors, then I have some more right here. And I'll also have these items linked down below in the description, the diodes and the plugs like this. So that's what I'm gonna be using right there. And if you guys notice, this is what somebody did before, you know, because I just bought this truck. So they had actually like changed out the plug, because sometimes these burn out and they get so some of them will be burnt up from the inside. This one's actually not that bad, but you can see a little bit of brown in there, and that's why they be changing them out. So they have crimps on here, and you know, I'm gonna be cutting them and soldering them in there.
Oh, Eddie, is there anything you can't do?
I won't need this anymore, and I'm gonna just be putting that. And then on this side, you can kind of see that I already have 1 plug that has 3, and that's because, you know, it was messed up, and I was, you know, wiring up my grill last time. So I just tapped in here to the DRL for these amber lights. So that's why they're just like this, because I'm gonna be working on it today and fixing up this wiring. Because the grill wiring is actually kind of long, so it's just tucked up in here. And I'll trim this wiring right here so it doesn't get in the way. So this is just extra right here, you know, we won't need this, but if you have this, I mean, you can just tap in. It's just directly positive and ground. So I'll just be converting over the plug right now. So to start off, I'm gonna cut off the factory plug on the DRL. So that's gonna be my ground. The blue one is the positive. So I won't be needing that. And then on this side right here, the same way. So I'm gonna just cut both of these. And it doesn't matter because the truck is off right now.
I hope you got a few $1 million, because that's what they're gonna charge us if this thing is fried.
Everything checks out.
What?
So now these plugs are off, and I'm gonna just take this off because I'm gonna reuse this plug right here. All right, guys, so first off, I'm gonna start off with the ground. So this right side wire, this black wire right here is gonna be our ground, and it's gonna go directly onto the truck side. So right here with the old wiring is at, you can see that it'll just get joined just like this, and that'll be the first one. So you can kind of see on this side over here. So I got them joined right here. I just gotta solder them. And it does look a little bit different because I added my grill light back in here, so I can close it up this time. Before, you know, I had it real long in there. But that's just straight up power and ground from these amber lights here. So don't worry about those. The normal colors are still here. You know, the truck has that blue wire, which is a positive, and then, you know, black is ground. So let me go ahead and solder these, and I'll shrink them, and I can do the next 2 right there. All right, guys, so my ground is done, and here it is right there. And also, if you're soldering here, just be careful, because as you can see, one of the drops already fell. So yeah, just be careful, because see, there's a little solder point right there, so it would have damaged the bumper, but I had put that right there, so that's good. And on this side, I had a paper, so, you know, just be careful right there. And so that's just the grounds right here, you know, straight up black to black on the very last right pin. So this one right here. And next up, I'll be doing the actual parking light. So for the parking light wire, it's gonna be this brown wire right in the middle of the plug. So I'm just gonna be jumping it from right here over to this brown plug. So it's just gonna be 1 wire from here directly to there. No diodes or nothing on that wire either. And for that one there, I'm just gonna be using black. So I got me 2 pieces of black right here. And let me go ahead and solder it, and I'll just show you real quick. All right, so my parking light is already hooked up. And here you can see the brown wire is going to the black wire. And it's just a jumper, you know, so it's just like a little bit long because I wanna tuck it down here. And then when I'm finished it up, then I can like cover it up and everything. But you can see where I tapped right in here. And this one has some more wiring because remember I did use my LEDs that go behind the grill. So they're hooked up right there. So that's why it looks like that. And over here on the driver's side is the same. So the same jumper wire, I used black. So here you can see the black wire on the brown. So the factory plug has this brown wire. And you know, I'm just using black. So it's going to the brown wire right here in the factory connector. So it's just wire to wire. I could have used a different color, but you know, I was just like, I'll just use black right there. So it doesn't really matter what color you want to use as long as you just jump them. So this brown wire up to this middle brown wire. And next up, I'll be doing the last wire, which is the one that's going to be splitting up with the diodes. And that's going to be this blue wire. All right, guys, so this is how you want to put the diodes right here. So on the very last wire on the left side, that blue one, you can see where I soldered the diodes already. And just make sure the stripes are going down. So there's two little stripes right here. They're kind of hard to see, but there's a stripe if you notice it. So the two stripes have to be facing down towards the bulb. And then those ends right there, you know, we're gonna add that wire right there. And so we'll just be having these two diode legs left over to hook up, and one wire is gonna be from right here, so the DRL to one of these legs, and then the other leg is gonna get soldered up to this side. So another jumper wire into the parking light. So this blue wire, and as you can notice, you know, they're in the same spot. So the blue wire here is in the same spot as this blue wire because they're pretty much the same plug. So these two are the same plug, so we're just hardwiring it because, you know, originally it's just two wires. So the passenger side is exactly the same, you know, the two diodes with the stripes facing down towards the bulb, and then again, you know, this wire is going to tap into one of the legs, and then the other leg to the blue wire right over here. So you can see they're in the same position. This light blue is on the very far end, and then this is a dark blue, but it's still in the same, you know, left corner. So let me solder them and I'll show you real quick. All right guys, so I got them all soldered up right here, and this is what it looks like finally. So as you can see, I got this white wire right that I just ran over to the parking light. So you can see it's grabbing off one of the diode legs, so it's just extended right here, and it's jumping right over to this wire, so the blue one again. And so it's just wire to wire, you know, no relay or anything like that. The only thing that's going through it is the diode. So we just created, you know, the two inputs right here with these diodes. And on the passenger side, it should look the same way. So, you know, the two diodes right here. And again, I used the white wire and I jumped it over to this light blue wire on the left side right here. So in the same position, this very left. And then again here, the blue wire. And now we can go ahead and test it out. But you guys let me know so far, what do you think about this wiring? You know, is it simple or does it look kind of hard? But it's really not that hard. You just gotta, you know, solder the wiring so that they can give you a good connection. You can also do crimps, but I always recommend soldering, you know, and it's really not that bad, but you'll get used to it if you start it. So it's really not that bad, but you know, soldering is always the best connection that you can get. And you know, you can still use butt connectors or anything like that. Before I clean up my wiring, I'll go ahead and test them out for you real quick so we can see how it works. So let's check it out. So with this test, I'll be having on the switchbacks and then also the halogen, so you can see that real quick. So I'll do the parking lights first so we can check them out. All right, so that's the parking lights right there. And as you can see, the switchback is white. So this is just a halogen, and then that's just a halogen. But whenever I put a switchback here, it'll also be white. So both of these will be white. And as you can tell, it's a DRL, so I shouldn't be doing that. But that means we have the wiring good. And now the same over here. So white, and then amber, amber. So I just gotta put those switchbacks, but you know, this is just good for the test right there. All right, and next up, I'll do the hazards. So this is the same as a turn signal. So we can see what that looks like. And there you can see the switchbacks are working, so they're turning amber whenever I do the turn signal. So that's good right there. And the last one is going to be the DRL. So let me go ahead and check that out as well. So now I'll just turn these off right here. And for the DRL, to test them out real quick, since the truck is all parked right here, I'm just going to jump the relay right here. And as you can tell right here, it's on, you know, this spot right here, DRL. So we're going to be jumping wire 87 to 30. So pin 87 to 30, I'm gonna be jumping with a wire right here, and you know, just whatever wire here, and the relay is this one right here, and I already have it loose, so you know, just pull it out, and it's gonna be from corner to corner. So from this bottom left corner to the top right corner. You can even do like a paper clip or anything like that. It's just a test right here. So you know, put it just like that. I don't know if you noticed the reflection when I start putting it in. So just like that, corner to corner, and I can already see the reflection of the amber lights. Yeah, so they're pretty bright. I noticed it when I put it in already, but so that's the DRLs right there, and as you can see, it's 5 lights now. So my grill is DRL, and then also the 2 regular DRLs in amber, which is cool, and you know, it's different right there. But you guys let me know what you think so far. I think it's looking pretty good, and you know, now I can go ahead and clean up my wiring and put all the bulbs in and see what it actually looks like. But I can already tell those are super bright. I'm not sure if the camera picks it up, but those bulbs are super bright right now. So I'll just remove this, clean up my wiring, and put the headlights on and see what it looks like. All right guys, before I put the parking lights and headlights back on, I just want to show you the switchbacks right here. This is actually the first time I'm using some, and you know, I hadn't noticed it, but they actually have fans right here. So maybe it kind of gets kind of hot, but I think that's kind of cool because you know, it'll cool it down right there. So it's the same here and then on this one, because they're identical. So that's what they look like right there. You know, they look pretty good, like quality and stuff. And I already know they're bright because, you know, right now that I was testing them, they're so bright. And this one is just a regular, you know, amber color. So if later on they have switchbacks, I might switch it. But I think for now it'll be kind of cool because I'll have the amber marker here. And then my grill light, you know, lights up kind of amber here at night, even though that I have them off at night. But during the day, they are amber. So mine's right here at night get lit up from the back grill. But, you know, they can be hooked up to parking lights at night also. But, you know, that's just how I did it. And, you know, that's just the wiring right there. I went ahead and all tested taped it up. So just like this. And then the extra slack is just tucked up under here. So that's not too bad. So I just went ahead and tucked in this extra wire back here. And it looks pretty good overall. You know, not too bad. I can actually put some loom, but I just left it alone. You know, it's not that bad. So whatever helps out to keep it cleaner, you know, you can do Tessa tape or the loom and stuff. So from the factory, they got loom. But sometimes when they have too much loom, they get a little bit too bulky. And, you know, it just takes up too much room. All right, so I have the front end back in with all the lights in there. And I'll go ahead and test out my DRLs now real quick. So 30 and 87. There it is again. And so that's how I should be when I'm driving with the DRLs on. And you guys let me know what you think on this right here. I think it looks pretty cool, you know, with the 5 lights going on right there in amber. And I know these Auxitos are super bright right now, so I gotta see how they look at night. And then, you know, test out the rest of the lights as well. So there's the switchbacks right there with the parking light. As you can see, you know, they're bright white and then amber on the corners. So I'll go ahead and do the turn signal right now. And you'll also see that they have no hyper flash. So with this setup, you know, it won't do that right there. So that's pretty cool. So I'll do the turn signal. And there it is, guys. And if you guys notice, it's not hyper flashing, which is good because whenever we do this setup, you know, you won't get no hyper flash. And you know how sometimes you'll have like hyper flashing with LEDs and stuff like that. So that's pretty good right there as well. Whenever we do this setup, you won't get any hyper flash. So even if they're both LED bulbs like standard, or, you know, it doesn't have to be like a switchback, but if they're just like LEDs, you know how normally you'll get like a hyper flash. So you won't get that. And just in case you guys are looking for the flasher relays, I'll show you right here. This is the stock one right here. You know, I went ahead and pulled it out just to show you, but you can see it's the GM one. And then they also sell some cheaper ones like on eBay or Amazon, which are bigger. So this is the cheaper and bigger one. And, you know, it won't fit in that location. So, you know, this is for the 99 and 02. So as you can see, it's too big. So you have to cut around it to make it fit. But if you guys need the correct one, I have the correct one right here. And I'll list it down below in the description. But this one will fit right there, like perfect. And you won't have to trim anything or anything like that, you know. So this one fits perfectly. It's the same size. And it's not like big like this one. And just in case you guys are looking for this, you know, I'll go ahead and list it down below in the description. But this is the one you want to buy right here. Because, you know, it'll be the same as the factory size. And you won't have no issues, you know, with the hyper flash or fitting it, you know, if you don't buy the correct one. Because I know a lot of people have trouble finding the correct size. Because, you know, this one right here will work. But you have to trim the opening and all that stuff. And, you know, it's a lot of work. So it's easier just to buy the correct one. And, you know, easy plug and play right there. And I'll show you guys where I pulled it out from right now as well. So if you guys are trying to change this out, it is right over here. And, you know, you just slide it in here. So I just went ahead and took the factory one out. But it goes like this with the 3 pins on top. And then the single pin on the bottom. And, you know, you just put it in like this. And you just press it in there. It's just like loose right now. But this is on the 99 and 02. And if you have the 03 to 06, it's the same thing. It's just a little bit bigger. And I'll also list that one. It's just a little bit longer. But, you know, it does the same thing. So this is the original one. And then the one that I'm listing right here is this one. So if you're doing the aftermarket, you know, for hyper flash on LEDs, it would be this one. And you'll see right here that it actually fits correctly. So the same way as the original with the 3 pins on top and then that single pin on the bottom, and then you just, you know, slide it in here and it'll fit in the housing perfectly. So just like that. So there you can see, you know, it goes in. And I'll just go ahead and take it off. And I'm just going to be keeping my original one in here because, you know, I won't need it. I just purchased it in case I needed it. But maybe later on, you know, if I do LEDs in the back or I need something, then I'll just have it extra right there. And this one right here is the one that does not fit. So you can tell it's just bigger. So if you try to put it in here, you know, it's just too big. So people have to trim this, you know, or cut it or do something to this. And, you know, that's too much work. So I'll just list the correct one right there if you guys need it for any reason. And this is 9902, but I'll link the 03 to 06 as well. Alright guys, so here's the parking lights right here. As you can see, let me know what you guys think. I think they came out pretty good. They're actually very bright, so I had to cut down my headlights because they were like beaming too hard, and you know, it's making the picture real bad right there. But this looks a little bit better on camera right here. You can kind of see that they're super bright. And I think the amber side marker looks pretty good. So it makes it look a little bit different. I like the way it looks, but you guys let me know down below in the comments what you think. And so you can see right here, you know, they're all the way going down here. So the DRL is working, and then the regular lights are working. And so these are gonna do the switchback right now with the turn signals. And the good thing about this is that the DRLs will still work in the daytime. So that's what I like about it. And I'll go ahead and do the turn signals right now. You can already see they're super bright on the floor and stuff. So they're way brighter than halogens. I don't even need to put the halogen here because you can already tell they're super bright. So as you can see, the floor is all lit up, and that's actually how bright these lights are. So if
Yeah! Look what I have created! I have made fire! I have made fire!
So if you're looking for some of the brightest lights, I believe these are gonna be it right here, because you know, they're like super bright in person. I'm not sure if the camera picks it up that good, but they're like super bright. And there's the hazards right here. So you can just see right here, they light up all the floor. So even the headlights are off, you know, there's no other light right there. The grill light, you know, doesn't really count, but you know, you can kind of see it's all amber on the floor, and you know, it goes real far. So those lights are super bright right there. And here, I'll go ahead and show you guys, like, these lights are so bright that even when I do the parking lights, you'll be able to see that the light actually kind of goes all the way over there, and you know, the headlights will be off right now. So let me go ahead and show you on the lights right here. Whenever I turn on the parking lights, they'll start off softly, and you'll see the white light that goes all the way over there. It kind of acts like a little mini headlight because it actually goes pretty far for parking lights, but you'll see right now. So if I turn them on right here, and they'll be starting off softly, so there you can see, and they kind of lit up all the way to the car over there. I don't know if you notice it. And then over here, you know, it's just the parking light. So just those parking lights right there. And when I turn them off, you'll be able to see, you know, like I said, how much they lit up the floor. So turn them off right there, and then watch that car in the front. So as you can see, you know, they do go pretty far right there. So that's super bright for some LEDs. If you want the brightest one, you know, Auxitos are gonna be real bright right there. So you guys let me know down below in the comments what you think on this setup right here, and if you'll be trying something like this. And also, if this content helped you out or anything like that, don't forget to hit that like button down below, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next one. We're gone.